I gotta say, this weekend in sports was crazy and everything didn't go my way as a fan. Let's dive into what happened. I know you Buffalo Bills fans are gonna hate me, but didn't I tell you that Josh Allen was fool's gold? I told you he looked like a deer in headlights in some of these primetime games. And what does he do against the Denver Broncos? He choked. And I said regarding Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson in a previous video, I said if these guys don't make it to the Super Bowl, then we should not be talking to them or talking about them. Plain and simple. There's no excuse this year that Josh Allen should have not made the Super Bowl. And he can't even make the AFC title game. And we've seen this story before. Every year, it's the same hope. This is the year that the Bills finally break through. And what happens? They fail to come through when it counts. Josh Allen silences the critics. No, I'm still talking. And he should have shut me up with an appearance at the Super Bowl. And that did not happen. Oh, this is his year. He does it. Chiefs are not in it. And Patrick Mahomes isn't there to rain on Josh Allen's parade. What happened? Bo Nix happened. Let's talk about the game. They needed composure in this game. And what happened? Josh Allen panicked. Like what? A deer in the headlights. They needed accurate throws from their legendary quarterback. And what happened? He was sailing passes and not being Josh Allen's regular season self in the playoffs. They needed smart decision making. And what happened? He gambled. And what was the result? Tapped out. The mistakes he were obviously bad overs, which you cannot do in the playoffs, especially when you go deeper in the playoffs. Over aggressive reads, when you're supposed to stay the course, stay within the game plan. Missed open receivers. I mean, Brandon Cooks had that one incredible almost catch, but still. And the game tempo, it just got out of his hand. And when the game got tough, Josh Allen shrunk. It's just like, what else can you expect from Josh Allen? The organization is built around Josh Allen. Granted, he don't have crazy amount of receivers, but whenever they feel like Josh Allen needs a decision to be made around him, they do it. They got a running game now with James Cook, and obviously there was some turmoil in the years past when they did have a high-profile receiver, Stephon Diggs. So they made a move and they chose Josh Allen, which was the right decision. But all we see is how Josh Allen can't break through. And as far as I'm concerned, we should not be talking about him as being a great quarterback until he could break through. And that goes to anybody like him, like the Lamar Jacksons. And I gotta feel that Josh Allen will go down as a career choke artist. Now we move on to Caleb Williams. And boy, has he changed the narrative on his career. Even though the Chicago Bears came up short against the LA Rams, what a performance and what a game. His second season, he almost and was so like close to making the NFC title game. And as far as progression for Caleb Williams, it was just very nice to see because in the beginning of the season, I will admit I was thinking, maybe this guy was overhyped or whatever, but it shows you how things can change quickly in the NFL because Jaden Daniels was that guy last year, and look what happened this year. And while last year we were higher on Daniels over Williams, Williams flipped that script this year with the Cardiac Bears having the first 10 plus win season since probably in no fact checking here, but probably since the 2000s. And just his play of never being out of it. Some of his receivers were depleted, injured. While Swift is okay as a running back, not having the most incredible running game. And with the hire of Ben Johnson this year, really flipped the script on Caleb's career. And it was honestly a nice thing to see because, I like when other teams just pop up out of nowhere and become in the playoff picture. And I was really pulling for them to, make the NFC title game. So we might have a different NFC title matchup. But that didn't happen. But that, in my opinion, cannot take away from the year that Caleb Williams had. Definitely a bright future for a fan base the Chicago Bears fan base that has been in a need of some winning football for a long time. You remember they thought Justin Fields was that guy. But anyway, not taking shots, but definitely bright stuff coming out of the Chicago area in regards to football. CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans lose to the New England Patriots in Foxborough. And man, I kind of said in my previous video leading into this weekend that you just wonder what CJ Stroud that we're going to see. And he showed the CJ Stroud that we've been seeing in the playoffs when he appears in the playoffs. Folds under pressure. This year, he did achieve another accolade, but not the accolade that you want if you're CJ Stroud. I believe they said that he had the most combined turnovers in one game in NFL playoff history with 4 interceptions in the first half. Granted, his counterpart, Drake May, was turning the ball over, but he was also going against the number one defense in the league. And the plays that CJ was making were just really showing that he does fold under pressure and maybe he's just not ready for the playoffs or he needs more experience in the playoffs because his rookie season, they ended up getting down by the Baltimore Ravens at that time. And I thought that was a very much so a missed opportunity, just like this weekend was against the New England Patriots. But I think higher of the New England Patriots. I they just look ready, even though this is like the first year that they've sprouted back up since the Tom Brady era. But I don't even know what you do with CJ Stroud. I think maybe they need to get a more fire running game. Hold with Joe Mixon. I think he would have done way better than Chubb. It kind of looks like Chubb is in the CMC kind of category, like just not who he was. Can't run as effective as what he did to put the NFL in fear. So the Texans and CJ Stroud didn't have their number one weapon at wide receiver, Nico Collins, who was still in concussion protocol. So that was a tough break. But like I say, man, in these big games, you find out who your quarterback is. And basically, what CJ Stroud did is he just proved to everybody that he's just not ready yet. And that's okay. I feel like they got a good foundation with the Texans and they just got to keep building. I guess CJ Stroud needs more weapons around him. And D'Amico Ryan's the head coach. He really needs to focus in on CJ and see what will really work for him in the playoffs because maybe he's just cracking under pressure like Josh Allen. But anyway, hopefully the Texans could turn it around and maybe go deeper in the playoffs next year. They ruined it for me because before the playoffs started, I was like, I see the Texans possibly making it to the Super Bowl in Santa Clara, but obviously that didn't happen. This is the topic I've been dreading this whole video. The Seattle Seahawks blast my San Francisco 49ers 41-6. But the question is, did the Seahawks make a statement or did they just catch the 49ers limping into the playoffs? My opinion, yeah, it's biased, but I don't think it was a statement win. I just think that they caught us, the 49ers, really limping into the playoffs and not full force. I mean, Seattle was full force, and I don't want to take anything away from their defense. Their defense is like really good. But when we're not having the stars that we have left on this defensive core, like Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, it's really kind of hard to say that, yeah, Seattle dominated, even though they did dominate. And in my opinion, I think they ran up the score at the end, which I was kind of like, you guys are a tough team. Y'all don't need to do that. At least the last 2 touchdowns, like, it's like, why? It's like 49ers can't even get in the end zone on you guys. So why do you keep scoring? And what usually happens the next week, they don't really score as good. And they're always like, man, I wish we had those points from last week. And I just think, defense wins championships. And if Seattle does actually win next week against a tough LA Rams team, it's going to be because of their defense. Because Sam Darnold, everyone's acting like, oh, he's resurrected in Seattle. Even in the previous matchup against the 49ers, he didn't do anything spectacular to beat the 49ers. It wasn't like, oh, yeah, those touchdowns, that was the reason that they won. Sam Darnold, while, you can't argue that the regular seasons he's had the past 2 seasons are pretty, incredible for his resume, he just hasn't done anything against the Niners, to really solidify these wins and especially a playoff win. And to me, everybody wants to talk about JSN. While he did have a touchdown, he had minimal yards. And by the time he had that touchdown, the 49ers defense was already being backed up every single play. We were on our heels. So it's kind of hard to give a team credit for that. And I know I sound like a biased 49ers fan, but my honest opinion was if the 49ers were fully locked in with our players that we have injured, would it be completely different? I can't tell you that, but it's always going to be a question mark, especially if Seattle loses at home to the LA Rams. And you got to look at it for this matchup coming up. Rams got a better quarterback. They got better receivers. And as far as receivers, JSN, people are giving him that best receiver in the league title. I don't know if I'm ready to give that to him yet. It seems like big games, he's not like getting the yards that like a superstar wide receiver will get. So that's just me. And I'm always with don't give people flowers before they deserve them. Sometimes, especially in this era, people like to give flowers for aspirations, and I'm just not like that. And another thing, it's going to be really defense against defense in this Seahawks Rams game. So, my final thought for this is basically that I don't think it was a statement win. While it was like a 35-point victory, you did this against the Niners, had a million injuries. Defense was, I don't even know, 50% ready to go. So to me, this did not look like a statement win. But I think I will definitely change my mind on the Seahawks if they are able to pull out a victory against the LA Rams. But like always, make sure you drop a like. Let me know that you're feeling the content. Drop a comment. If you don't agree with me, I want to hear you. Drop a comment, hate on it, love it, whatever you want to do. But make sure you always subscribe to the channel. This has been the Authentic Take. Until next time.